Hi, welcome to 151 Garage. I'm Sean, this is Susan, and today we're going to work on the headlights for her. So I purchased some headlights from Speedway Motors. I'm not affiliated with them. I'm not being paid to say anything. I got two of the 34, well, a pair of the 34 Ford commercial headlights. And the reason I got these is they are absolutely massive compared to your normal headlights. So they are about 9.5 inches wide, and they'll fit this car perfectly because it will fill up a lot of space in the front that is pretty much void of anything else. So I didn't want little tiny lights on this, basically this big front end. I will not have a radiator or a grill in the front. It'll basically be the headlights and then the motor behind it. That's it. So I wanted something to fill in that gap to actually make it look proportionate. Now, something that I do like about these lights, again, I've just opened this once before and looked around. I do like the fact that it actually has the Ford script in the bottom. These are glass, so it's not cheap plastic or anything like that. It does seem to be well built. I don't know how it lights up yet. I haven't put them in there. As far as mounting, so I do have a bracket up front and I'll show you that later on. Now I do have to get an adapter that goes from here, basically sits on here and keeps it from moving around, and then it's basically a flat side for the bracket. Now in the process of doing that, I'm going to need to mount my turn signals and marker lights. So I bought these. I will put the name right here because there's no way I can pronounce that and I'll probably butcher it. So I'll do them a favor and just put the name down. Now, when I bought these, I wanted something small that I could put out of the way and not really have to worry about a giant light sitting next to this one. I wanted that kind of hidden. And I tell you what, to give you an idea of the size, that's a quarter, that's the light, really small. So to give you a better picture, if you can't see it, I'll put it right here, an actual picture, a blown up picture of the quarter and the light itself. Now I knew they were small, but I didn't know exactly how small, because you could always look at measurements and stuff like that, but to actually see it, that is tiny, and that's exactly what I wanted. They really hit the nail on the head for making it tiny. So I bought a white one and a clear one to go for the marker lights and the turn signals. Now I wanted these out of the way, and the way I'm going to put them is basically, I want to put them right about here at the bottom. So with that being said, I want to make sure I have enough room. They'll light up very well. They're against the bracket there and basically out of the way. It's exactly, like I said, exactly what I wanted. Now I am going to have to make a bracket that it comes off of. So I'll make a flat piece, shape it how I want. I'll have a couple different shapes. I'll make them out of paper first, and then I'll decide, and then I'll make them out of metal. I'll transfer everything to metal and make it out of metal. This is where it's going to sit. And again, it'll be a little bit lower, but I like this one better than the other one because the other one sat far back and I had to make it stick out so far it looked like it was didn't belong there. Not that this belongs there, but at least it looks a little bit better. Also, I can put them right here and run the wires straight down to go inside the conduit and go that way. We'll go to cut these out, and basically we'll be right back after that. So, okay. as you can see from the time lapse or the videos, I did get the bracket done for the turn signals. Now, there's a couple other things I needed to get for this. So I needed to get one of these. It's basically a adapter for this kind of headlight. And the reason being is when this goes all the way down to my, basically my light bracket, it's a round surface on here, but a flat surface on that. So it won't hold the shaft from moving against this stuff. So I bought these, and unfortunately they are too small, but I knew that going into it. These headlights are 5/8 shaft, basically. The size is 5/8, while this is 1/2 inch. Now I did buy a drill bit that will actually just cut this out to 5/8. No big deal. I knew that going into it. Again, a lot of things that you do on custom cars are going to be modified. So that's something you got to look for and realize you're going to have to do that. Also, I already have one light set up, and the one thing with this, when this sits all the way down onto the headlight points a little bit farther up, so it points more up towards the sky than straight. Now, on a lot of cars, you can have a kind of an adjustment. Well, this, I had to make shims basically to adjust the headlight so it points more down. So what I'll do is I'll put the headlight through this, then this, basically here, turn it upside down. So just remember it upside down. This right there, and then this right here will sit on the bracket, which in turn will tilt the whole thing forward and the light more down than up. So with that being noted, you have to have one on the top, you have to have one on the bottom to compensate for the fact that the shaft, if it's still straight on the bottom, you have to have some way to make sure it still stays at the same angle. So again, that's something you have to modify. I didn't know that going into this one, but I realized real quick when my headlight was pointing up. So I'll show you how I did that. I'll time lapse through all the cutting and the drilling and basically doing all that. And I will also go through the time lapse of installing it, and I'll show you after. So, okay, see you then. So there we go. So both headlights are on. Each one of them has a turn signal and a marker light, basically. As you can tell, they are very hidden. They're actually well under this. So they are visible. I will be moving this to a different area since it does block the marker lights. We will see. And yes, that is actually a real license plate I used to run on one of my cars over in Bitburg, Germany. So, Deutschland. So that is my actual license plate for a previous car, not this one. So this one's not registered yet. I will be doing that, and I probably will be running the same plate like that if I can get it. So, not this plate, but this number. That way I can run the front and the back. They're identical. So, we'll see. So to show you a little bit of what we did, I have the cup right here. I have the shim spacer. It's at an angle. That way it actually pushes the light forward, more down than pointing up like it was. Then I have the actual bracket itself, the bracket we made, another shim spacer. And the reason I have the shim spacer on both sides is because it evens out the angle of the shaft to the center. Otherwise, the bolt will want to push it basically straight up again. So I have the shim spacer, then the bolt. So that basically gives it the angle that it's at right now, rather than actually more this way with the light pointing up. This actually faces straight ahead, maybe a little bit more down. But again, it's nice. If I need any adjustments when I finally get the weight on the car and stuff like that, we'll be able to adjust it easily. I have all the metal rod I need to make the spacers and adjust them exactly how I want. Basically, it'll look just like that. I will not have a radiator in the front. It will be the 2 headlights and the motor. That's it. The radiator will go in the bed of the truck or underneath the bed of the truck. That'll come later on. But right now, that's pretty much all for this one. Actually, this is exactly the way I wanted it, so I'm actually kind of happy. And those are lights actually fit a little bit better than the tiny lights I was looking at. Those are commercial 34 Ford truck commercial lights. So we'll see. Now again, this is kind of a cosmetic thing. I wanted to get these done. It kind of looked incomplete. I will be working on the bed later on. In fact, I think I worked on the stakes a couple videos ago, but I will be working on the bed to make it seem like a complete truck. There is a lot of stuff that is going either in the bed or under the bed, so I do need to build that first before I accomplish some of the other things I want to do. So that is a prerequisite for some of the other items I want to do for the basically the fuel tank and the radiator and stuff like that. So again, hope you like this kind of stuff, and hope to see you next video. Thank you.